Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I thought it was time that I did a few more Q&A. So I'm just on my way to work at the moment. It is about 7:30 on a Sunday morning, but I thought I could do it in a bit of a nicer location. So here we go. That's better. So welcome to Turkey. You are now on holiday with me. So the question that I was asked was all about working as a doctor under the new contract, what the pay is like, what the hours are like, and how the NHS is being affected by doctors emigrating to places like Australia and New Zealand in hope of a better working life. So I can only really give my opinions on this topic, but it is an important one, and I think it's something that a lot of people have a lot of questions about and a lot of opinions and thoughts on. So I'm going to try and address that as best as I can in this video. To break down the question, the first part was what it's actually like working as a doctor under the new contract. Well, you've got to remember that I've only been working as an F1 doctor for 1 year, which means that I never worked under the old contract. Working under the new contract means that we are meant to be paid for the hours that we do, rather than being paid in banding, which was how the old contract was paid, where you were paid for an average of how many hours most people do in that job. Well, actually, in the hospital that I'm working, they aren't quite abiding to the new contract, and they are paying us based on average of the hours worked. So I don't think we're being paid correctly at the moment.
So just to get a bit more specific about that, the pay for Foundation Year 1 or F1 is £26,614. So just to put that into perspective, that means that my take-home pay has been between £1,500 and £2,000 each month, depending on the hours I've worked. So in this rotation, I'm taking home just over £2,000 a month.
In terms of what it's like working in the NHS now, I'm not going to lie, there is a massive problem with understaffing, and I don't think that's just the case with doctors. That is true with nurses, physiotherapists, speech and language therapists. We're all stretched to our maximum. We can all feel the impact of that with the rota gaps and the pressures that are on us when we're meant to be covering 2 or 3 people's jobs at once. I think working as a junior doctor, as an F1, we are a little bit more protected. We do have times where where I personally have felt really stretched, and the hours that are expected of us are quite long. Now, in comparison to places like the USA, I do think we have it better in terms of the hours that we're meant to work.
In America, junior doctors can be rotated to work up to 80 hours a week. In the UK, we are meant to be capped at 48 hours a week as per the European Working Time Directive. We can opt out of this and work between 56 and 72 hours in a week. The average junior doctor in the States graduates from medical school with $200,000 worth of student debt, whereas in the UK, this is less than half. So I did graduate entry medicine, and I've graduated with £60,000 worth of debt, which, while huge, is far less than my American colleagues.
If you looked at my rota, I'm not going to lie, I do feel like my rota is tiring. We are expected to work long hours. However, averages at the moment between 48 and 60 hours, I think. If you compared that to junior doctors in the US, I think they are expected to work a lot longer hours. The next part of the question was about the effects of doctors emigrating to Australia and New Zealand, and I think this has had a huge impact on the NHS and doctors in general. I know that for training purposes, so if you wanted to specialise and become, for example, a paediatrician or a neurologist, they recruit, and I think that they are struggling to fill their positions because of the number of people that are either leaving the NHS or leaving the country full stop. So that's had a big impact on the people who are left here. Having said that, if the NHS wants to keep doctors working here, then they have to try and make the jobs seem more attractive and improve working conditions for doctors, like they do in Australia and New Zealand. But your question was based around the topic of whether or not being a doctor in the UK is worthwhile. I would say it really is. It's a hard job, and it's been a bit of a crash down to reality with the hours and what's expected of you. But I think that's just what the job of a doctor. I think that is the same worldwide. We have a lot of responsibility on our shoulders, but we are protected by the fact that there's always someone senior that we can consult. So whether you were to study medicine in the US, the UK, Australia, New Zealand, I'm sure that would be the case wherever you go. I also think if you've had a dream of becoming a medical student and working as a doctor in the UK, it would be such a shame to let the political climate take away that dream from you. There are so many benefits about doing your training in Britain. Once you are a UK qualified doctor, you can basically work anywhere in the world, or you can stay in the UK and work for the NHS, and the NHS is crying out for new doctors who are passionate and really want to work in the field of medicine. So I don't really know if that's answered your question, but I hope that I've addressed the topics that you were interested in. I get asked quite a lot of questions about working as a doctor, so please guys send me in more questions and I will answer them in more Q&A style videos. This is my second to last day of holiday, so my next video will not be in such beautiful surroundings. I'll try and answer your questions. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if it's been useful to you, and hit the subscribe button if you'd like to see more of my content. Have a great day guys, bye.